Hello everyone and welcome to a new video interview for Jogonet Gaming News. Today we are joined by Noah Akers of Akers Manufacturing. So the company has made some major announcements recently, including its Foundation App Store, as well as its brand new bonusing platform for its CMS. So we will be discussing these products along with other news. Noah, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
So in February, Akers launched its App Store, which allows developers to provide applications for any slot machine or table game deploying the CMS. Could you explain how this App Store works?
Yeah, so first of all, what Foundation does is when we install our hardware into a game, it's able to extract all of the real-time data from that game. And it's also able to implement credit meter changes. So it can add or remove credits from the credit meter. And so early on in the process of designing Foundation, we knew that in the industry it was a very big problem that operators could not interface their games and their systems to the types of applications that they wanted to. And so what we made the decision through our architecture that we're going to create and support a robust system of APIs to do exactly what you described that we announced in February, which is the App Store. And so what the App Store is an opportunity for third-party developers to come in and create and deploy their own applications onto the Foundation platform. It's a great ability for them just to get their product to market. They'll be able to digest all of the real-time data that Foundation provides. If it's a bonusing or cashless type application that involves changing the credit meter, they can also use Foundation's APIs to change the credit meter directly on the game. But we just think it's a great service to not only the third-party developers and to the casinos, but just the industry as a whole. Because over the past 20 or so years, there's been a lot of really great people and really great ideas that have been shut out by this kind of like closed ecosystem that the legacy system vendors have implemented.
One of the points I wanted to ask you about regarding the store is that casinos are only to pay for the cost of the application and not for the interface, right? So how does this work? And in terms of reducing costs for the casinos, can you explain this advantage?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So basically, when we designed Foundation, we just created that robust standard set of APIs. And I think that maybe that's something that the legacy system vendors either don't have or can't do just because of the age of the technology. But we're able to just create, like I said, it's just standard where every API is essentially the same. And all we do is, let's say that one application requires more information from the second application. We only provide, like, we can tailor our API to only provide the data that consumer requires. And so that's just something that we've done to facilitate good ideas coming forward in the industry.
Right, and the product also allows any app, whether or not it competes with Akers products, while typically fees are charged by legacy systems, right? So why was this decision ultimately made? And because it's not the norm, right? It's not the usual case.
Yeah, it's definitely not the norm. It should be the norm. It's the norm in other industries, but for some reason, it's not the norm in gaming. I think that, first of all, we made the decision to provide the APIs just because it's one that we think is the, I hate to use a morally loaded or a loaded term, but we think it's the morally correct decision, right? So if I'm selling the casino a system that collects and gathers their data, who am I to tell them that, hey, you can only access this data in certain ways and you can only share this data in these circumstances with these people, and every time you do it, you got to pay me a little bit. So I just think that that's an immoral proposition to make to casinos. And so here we are, we're doing something about it. And so in terms of allowing products that compete with Akers products to be hosted in the App Store, again, that's what I consider a moral a decision created by our morality, right? So I understand that, first of all, we do not have a monopoly on good ideas. There's a lot of other really smart people that are out there that can make some really good products. And sometimes there's products that are better than another. I might make the best analytics tool that in my opinion, it might be the best analytics tool, but to the casino, maybe I missed on the price point, maybe I missed on the feature set, maybe it's just not for them. And so I think that just by opening the doors to allowing casinos to integrate whatever piece of data analytics or bonusing or whatever it is that they want, we're just able to fulfill more needs and become a better business partner.
Right. So when the App Store made its debut in February, I think it launched with 17 developers and applications. What I wanted to ask you is, what has reception been like so far, and what are your expectations in terms of more applications reaching the App Store?
Yeah, the reception's been really good. I mean, we've had a lot of casinos approach us about, hey, can you get this guy in, or can you get this product in? And some casinos have learned about new products specifically from our App Store. We've had a ton of third-party developers approach us, and now they're kind of going through our onboarding process to become a part of the App Store. And by the way, if anybody wants to become a part of the App Store, really what we do is we integrate them into our test bed here at Acres. We verify that their product works, and essentially we provide a certification, put them on the website and advertise to the world that this product is indeed compatible and working with Foundation. So in terms of my expectations for the future, I think that we're going to see hundreds and hundreds of apps on the App Store going forward. And I think that there's going to be just a ton of creative ideas from people that we've never heard of before. We've never heard from, they've never been able to contribute ideas. I know in my mind, the types of products that I think of when I try to think about how we can round out Foundation and complete that usability, I always think about bonusing, and I think about cashless, and I think about analytics. But there's people that are going to focus on areas that I haven't even dreamed of. And I'm really excited to just kind of see all the new ideas that come forth. And I really think it's going to make a big change in the industry, because for 20 plus years, we've shut out all new ideas. Unless that new idea comes from, Scientific Games, IGT, Konami, Aristocrat, et cetera, that idea is not allowed to come into the gaming ecosystem. And so now here we are, a new player, a new system that provides literally 1,000 times more data than casinos have ever had the ability to process before. It provides a direct interface to the credit meter on the game, and we can open that up to any partner that the casino wants to open it up to. So I think that we're going to really see the velocity of new ideas increase, and it's just going to drive new revenues and new players to the casinos going forward.
Right. So, well, now moving to a different product, the company has also announced the precision bonusing platform, which is compatible with any slot machine connected to Foundation. Can you tell us how it works and what are some of its main features?
Yeah, so precision bonusing is an application or a series of applications that, again, take advantage of the open APIs that we have in the Foundation. So by monitoring all the real-time gaming events and having that ability to change the credit meter on command, we can make a rule set that says, hey, when X happens, pay Y to the machine. And we can also put a step in the middle, which says, hey, when X happens, the trigger event on the game, then play this animation or play this sound or do this player communication feature. And so the real key difference, I think, to precision bonusing over all the other bonusing systems that are out there is the level of configurability. So first of all, we do have some standard bonuses that are included in the suite. So amongst them are a multi-level progressive and a wheel bonus. And so first of all, we can theme, the operator can easily adjust the theme to be one that surrounds their brand instead of just the general theme that we come up with. So now, today, if you go out, you see casinos all having the same bonus. I could go to the Win and they have the same bonus as Eureka or some other casino. And that I don't think that that's what casinos want. And you see casinos spending millions and tens of millions of dollars on their branding campaigns for sportsbook acquisitions and iGaming and just the general just come to Vegas and experience our brand. But then you go into the casino and what do you see? Every casino inside looks pretty much the same as the next. They have the same slot machines, they have the same table games. The dealers and the staff kind of wear similar uniforms. So it's like, once you're inside the casino, it's kind of the same. So through precision bonusing, we're giving casinos the ability to differentiate. And it's not only limited to their brand. We can, through the rules that trigger the bonuses, casinos can easily customize, what causes the bonus to trigger. Is it something based on coin in? Is it something based on coin out, or a minimum level that I've won or lost, or time on device? We could make it so that people win more on their birthdays. It's just really customizable experience where the casino gets to say, hey, this is the player experience I want to provide to my players. And through that process, they can really differentiate themselves and serve their customers to the best of their ability.
Right. So as you mentioned, some casinos actually look pretty similar once you are inside them. So my question would be, do you expect them to change and to embrace a solution like this one? Has Acres already been approached by casinos and operators to know how this works?
Yeah, I think that first of all, virtually every casino operator of a certain magnitude has seen Foundation, has Foundation in their test lab, is evaluating the cashless system, is evaluating the data feed, is evaluating precision bonusing. So we're definitely down the road with pretty much everybody. We think that the casinos are going to embrace this new content. I think that look at, for instance, again, going back to sports, look at the amount of money that's spent by, Caesars on they have this tremendous advertising campaign with Caesar, who's played by JB Smoove, and that ad is everywhere. Why do they want to bring, I don't think that they want to bring people to the casino and lose that connection to the brand. I think that they want to expand that brand presence within the walls of Caesar's Palace and their other properties. And I think that's what all casinos want to do. I think that, if I'm a business, obviously I want to differentiate myself from my competition. I have a certain segment of the consumer population that I appeal to, and I want to make sure that my rules are in place to appeal to that segment of the population. So I think that casinos really do want to differentiate themselves.
But you have been very critical of the way the bonusing concept has evolved in casinos, saying that many of them rely on decades-old systems. What I would like to know is, in your opinion, what explains this? Why are they relying on systems that are so old? And how does this affect, in particular, the industry? What would it be like if these weren't the case?
Yeah, I think that if you, what would it be like? Look at just the broader technology industry. Look at, the smartphone came out in, 2007 or so with the iPhone, and look at the dramatic growth that certain companies have seen that embrace this technology. And when I say this technology, I mean mobile, big data, and personalized. And casinos do not have the ability to do that because their slot machines and table games are linked together by systems that were literally designed in the 1990s. So I could go to a casino on the Strip, virtually any casino on the Strip, and if they open their slot machines, I would see hardware that was literally designed in the 1990s. And so what that means is that back in the 1990s, you couldn't process data as quickly as you can today. So what happens is they only pick up about I think 15 or 20 rows of SAS data when there's 120 rows of SAS available. They only compare meters across distant intervals. So casinos only get an update on players every 15 to 20 minutes, typically like once per session. And so now when we bring Foundation, we do everything live in real time. Now we can do a lot of the same tactics that are used by the mobile gaming industry, right? In terms of what you see on Facebook and different gaming platforms that give people the ability to personalize the experience and just have that real-time connectivity. So I think that in terms of why that's happened, there just hasn't been the reinvestment in the systems and the loyalty that we've seen in other industries. Part of that has to do with regulation. It's very difficult to get a gaming product regulated across a multitude of jurisdictions. And then secondly, it's just been the way to make money in the casino business over the past 20 years has honestly been to open another casino, right? So I think back in the 80s and 90s, it was only Vegas and Atlantic City pretty much. But when the Native American gaming and other gaming jurisdictions opened up, all they did was take what's working in Vegas and do the exact same thing here and here and here and here. And all of a sudden you have 1,000 casinos in the US, and now a lot more competition. So the focus has always been on replicating and not, creating something new. And now that we have a lot of competition and we see that the player base is aging and we're not really creating new players the way we used to, we really have to start embracing that mobile personalization and real-time elements that you get through the mobile phone.
To close the interview, I would like to ask you about Acres participating in the upcoming edition of the Indian Gaming Trade Show. So what can people expect from the company at this event, and what are some of the main goals for Acres at this trade show?
Yeah, so we are very, very excited to demonstrate precision bonusing. Precision bonusing is something that casinos can implement either floor-wide or just on individual machines or banks of machines. So even if you don't want to do the floor-wide cashless system with Foundation, casinos can just implement the bonuses on certain sections of the floor very easily. We are very, very excited to debut Orange Blast, which is a custom theme that we've created for NIGA. And this is the first mobile app that encompasses cashless, loyalty, and bonusing all in the app. So we will be inviting people to download the app either in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store prior to coming to NIGA. They will register for the app, and then they'll be given some free play in the app across. It'll be cash, but it's actually free. It's not real money. So we have different balance categories in our wallet. So there's cash, there's free play. We have an integration with Marker Tracks, which is a casino marker provider, and we have bonusing built in. So what happens is the players download this app. When they get to NIGA, they go to our booth and they start playing, and they're earning rewards in real time as they play. There's a bonus game that populates on the actual app, and they tap the app to reveal the prize. Really first of its kind in our industry, and we're really excited. I think that this is going to be a big, giant technological leap going forward. I think this is the future of player loyalty is everything on the mobile device. So you look at what's done today in the players clubs and in the kiosks and all throughout the casino, you can do it just on one device, and that's what players want. And that's what we're going to provide.
We will be definitely looking forward to the company's participation in the event then. So, well, thank you for joining us today, Noah, and it was a pleasure talking with you.
All right, you too. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.